Hi, my name is Brandon. I've got kind of niche interests, and I found that whenever you're researching a new item you want to get, there's just never enough information out there about it. There's never enough different views with different lighting. So my latest niche interest is hats, fedoras. If you want good information, you want to find a slew of information, research it, go find Kevin at JJ Hat Center. His videos on YouTube are excellent. Really informative. He knows what he's talking about, ton of experience, and he's just putting it out there. He's not trying to really sell you anything. Gives a lot of good advice. You can purchase from JJ Hat Center. You don't really have to. He just gives you great advice all the way around. Really like his videos. They're fun, entertaining, soothing. You know, just you'll like them. Just go check them out. But there's not a ton of people other than JJ, other than Kevin, who are doing videos about them. I believe CJ Cook is his name. Give CJ a minute on Instagram. If you go, he's a model. He reviews Red Wing shoes. He does some modeling and acting. Really good looking guy, but he's just one other instance I've found of people with videos out there about hats. So you've got Kevin and you've got him. And this is going to be just a different view, different lighting, different skin tone to give you an idea of how some of these things look. So first one, hat I'm wearing right now that I really enjoy a lot. I've been wearing, I got a month or two ago from Kevin at JJ Hat Center, is the Stetson Stratoliner Premier. It's in Caribou, which is a kind of a mid-tone gray. It's very similar actually to the shirt I'm wearing, which is my wife got for me from J. Crew. So if you know anything about their clothes, it's similar to that. A little bit lighter, kind of almost a steel gray, I'd say. Kind of goes with everything, really. The ribbon on the edge, the binding, very thin. Very similar in color to the hat, about a shade darker. The actual ribbon here, it's the same color as the binding. Normally these come with kind of long tassels that come down to the edge. Mine kept curling up like a curlicue. Just got tired of it, snipped them off. Wasn't really what I was looking for anyways. Wasn't a real big selling point for me. And it comes with a little airplane pin there when you get it. You can take it off like I did or just leave it on there. Kind of neat. I'm not into bling though. When you buy these, they come open crown, meaning something like this, and you're able to, shape it yourself. It's soft but firm. It's a pretty thick hat. There's a lot of body to it. It's really got a lot of texture, a lot of shape. Very soft. It's a nice feel. It really feels like there's something there, like you've got something very firm, but it's still soft and enjoyable at the same time. I've got one other hat I'll show you just for comparison, which is a much lighter, just a very different hat. This one is on the higher end of Stetson's line, not as high as you can go. The Western hats can go up to like $1,000. This one's about a couple $100, $250. Depends on what kind of deals you get. Right now, people are running sale. JJ Hat Center is running a sale for Valentine's Day. They do it like almost every single holiday. You get 25% off. So it's the Royal Deluxe line of fur, which is one of their highest ones for these fedoras. And it's got a good amount of body here. You really have to give it a good amount of pressure to turn the brim down. So that's what it looks like. The sides, if you do the classic, just the front snap down. Here's if you go adventurer and snap it down all the way around. I wear it this way when it rains, and when I get in my car. It's actually, if I want to wear it while I'm driving, I can snap the brim down in the back, and it lets me drive without bagging it off my head every time I lean my head back into my headrest. But for the most part, the reason I got this hat is I wanted something in a pretty high quality fur that I knew I could wear out in the rain without going completely bonkers every time it got wet. And I really liked the look of the Stratoliners, and I wanted to wear it brim up. Didn't think when I first got into the hats that I would want to wear any of them brim up. It just seemed a bit hipster, but I really like the look of the brim up on me. It's just something I've come to enjoy. And being bald, it's kind of like having choices of hairstyles again. You can wear, your bangs brushed to the side, or you can, brushed forward for a more severe look, or fancier look, whatever however you want to take that metaphor and run with it. But I really like it. This is a 2.5 inch brim. I think I'm 6 foot tall, about 180 pounds, so I'm, dad bod pooch. So I'm reasonably slim for my height. I think it goes okay with the width of my shoulders. I like it. My wife says it's too big. She doesn't like my hats anyways. Most other people give me compliments on it, so I think it's a reasonable shape for my face. I could probably wear it a little bit higher. I'm debating on that. I've tried wearing it lower, and it looks kind of weird. It gets almost pork pie even if I keep it in the teardrop shape. This is the teardrop. This is my biggest thing to show you what the difference would be between this and a Stratoliner Special Edition, which is what I wanted to purchase. It's not quite as high quality of fur, and they were sold out at the time. Biggest reason I didn't get it. So I really, really like the structured look you get with a Stetson factory teardropping. Just really appealing. And this doesn't have that because it's an open crown. You get to shape it a whole bunch of other different ways, and it'll look really cool. But even if you get a teardrop like this, it does not resemble the SE. Big, wide teardrop, like a really big shape. I really worked to pinch these creases here. Like I got it shaped by the folks at JJ Hat Center, and they pinched it for me and gave it a pretty similar shape teardrop to the one you see on the SE. But even with a good pinch here, really tightly creased edges here, it's just not the same shape. There's a certain shape to the front here where it's wide, and then it comes in and it comes out. It's almost like an X kind of shape, like looking at an X-wing. If you're a Star Wars fan, head on. It's that kind of shape, that silhouette you get when you look at the SEs. I really like that. This doesn't give you that. It doesn't matter how you shape it, it's not going to be the same thing. But it does let you choose your height, lets you choose your shape. You can do some really cool shapes, and it's just really comfortable. It's fully lined, so as you can see, this is with about a month or two of wear on it with a bald head. So if I don't shave every day, it gets a little stubbly. It's already worn out most of the lettering there. You can see where it's worn off the lettering here on the leather. That stuff's going to wear off anyways, I'm sure. Even if you have hair, it'll eventually wear out. This is a size 59. I'm a 7 1/4. When I was in the military, we wore fitted hats, and I was a 7 1/4 there. Obviously, don't change much for the hairstyle. I went with a 59, which is a 7 3/8, because I found this other one I have, which is a 58 or 7 1/4, to be a little bit snug. It would ride up on me just a little bit. But these apparently do also run small. So in contrast, so we had caribou, this is taupe. Similar, but different. So let's see if we can get it in the sunlight here. Taupe, caribou. You can see very different teardrops. This is, I think, a little bit closer to what the SE would be. This is the Premier Edition. This is a much more tapered crown. When you pop it open crown, you can see it kind of comes up, and it definitely curves in to that top. Whereas when you pop this one open, much blockier. Obviously, it does still bell into the top, but it comes up much higher, and it's much less of a taper. It doesn't start from the base. It really comes up, and then it curves in that last inch or so of height. It's kind of hard to see with the lines steamed into it from the teardrop, but just a much boxier shape overall. I got this, and then within like 2 months after I got that. I like this. It's very soft, very light, super light. Like, I was amazed when I got it, just how compact it is, how petite, and how light. Really comfy. Like springtime, I'll probably wear this just because it's so much lighter. You can see, I don't know if you can tell, but it seems to sit a little bit higher here. It feels much more snug, much smaller. 2 and I think it's 1/8 inch. It's supposed to be like right at 2 and 1/8. Not a big difference, but I find it makes a big difference in the silhouette. It actually, when you buy it, this is the Explorer. It's a custom hat they had at JJ Hat Center. It was on a crazy good deal on clearance and then on Christmas discount. So it's like a $235 hat I got for under $100. I don't know if they have any left. It's, I think, their take on a Stetson Adventure. So basically the same thing. It's unlined. It's a travel hat. So it's got a, instead of a leather sweatband, it's got a cloth sweatband. No liner, obviously. It's supposed to be a case of you pop it open, flip the brim down all the way around, and then you can roll it. Pop it flat this way. And then roll it and stuff it in something. You know, take it with you, or you know, if you're I guess in the city at a restaurant, you could, you know, put it in your jacket or something. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I thought, oh yeah, I want the most versatile thing. Since I've gotten it, haven't rolled it. But then it pops right back into shape. You know, once the shape's steamed in there, it sticks in there really well. The brim, when I got it, was much more like that Cracker Jack navy dog bowl hat. It's much more up like this. You wouldn't want to wear it up, I don't think. But when you snapped it down, it was a much crisper snap. Like it looked really good, like a real Frank Sinatra look. I shallowed out the flange, the shape of the way it curves up, just because, you know, decided I like to wear it up, and that shallow flange I think looks better worn up. See, it's much more like this flange. Got that almost flat, not the full-on starched out hipster flat, but kind of flat. Definitely not, you know, tilted up Gomer Pyle kind of look to it, which is what it was originally. If you're gonna wear them snap down, bend that sucker up, get a good upward tilt to the flange on both sides, and it snaps down and it looks slick. Like this, I think, you know, it doesn't snap down as much, so it's a narrower. It's a narrow snap. You can't, with it, you know, loosened like that, you can't really get it to do quite as wide or as deep. The narrower one almost to me gives it more of a right here through here, like an Indiana Jones or Outbacker type thing. Even if you snap it all the way down, all the way around, it's a little bit different. What else? So that's just it for comparison. They are slightly different sizes, very different shapes, I think, even though they're both teardrops. And I've made the shape of the brim similar, the flanging of the brim, pretty different. And you can tell they're definitely styled similarly. They both have the narrow ribbon, but different hats, different purposes. I probably will either purchase a Stratoliner SE, because that's the look I want, that really constructed look, I guess. Either that, or there are some really good, or at least from what I've seen, really good looking custom hat makers that you can get a custom hat your size in beaver felt. This is rabbit. You can get it in beavers like the top line. I've seen places where you can get them for $300. Look at fedoralounge.com to find information about people who might make that. Different hatters, different custom hatters. Very snobby website. A bunch of people in there. I used to be a beer nerd. Very similar to that. People poo-pooing stuff, but you know, you can glean some good information. And that's about it. So this is what it looks like with a relatively low teardrop. You can see it's not super high. It's not that really high, really tight pinch. It's relatively low, relatively wide pinch. You know, hopefully there's a decent amount of contrast in here. It's hard to tell. It's got a shallow flange. This is what it looks like snapped down traditional style. This is what it looks like. Snap down all around, adventurer style, outbacker style. But this is how I wear it day to day. Great hat, like it, hope it helped.